Well, I got a message from Clock saying that he wanted me to check my PO box because he said I had something there, and there was something there. So I drove out there. So let me go ahead and open it. It feels kind of heavy, but whenever one of my Patreon supporters says they sent me something, I will go ahead and check. So I'm opening it up right now. But what they do in my PO box, if it's too big for the box, they give me a key to another box that's larger, and then I go there and I get it. And that's what I had to do for this one. And if it's even too big for the other box, then I have to wait in line at the post office and have somebody at the post office go fetch it. Oh, this looks like something. Oh, this looks really cool. What is it? Glass meal prep containers. Oh, set includes 3 glass containers with 3 tight lock lids. How cool. I guess I've been using plastic. Register now for your free lifetime. Oh, how nice. Thank you, Clock. Clock told me this was from him. Let me see if I got a note. Sometimes Loree will steal. Oh, that is so nice. Thank you, Clock. Looks like I'm going to get an upgrade for my storage containers. So it looks like there are 6 of them. Very nice. Very nice. So I got another way to store my food. Let me see. Oh, Clock. I bet he wrote a note, and I bet the Loree McBride Jesuits stole it. Because usually if I don't... Okay, there's 3 of them. Glass 6-piece set. Really? Says 6-piece set. Oh, 6-piece set because there's 3 bowls and then 3 tops. That's what they mean. Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Claude. Oh, here it is. I found it. It was on the side. A gift for you. Hi, Gail. I hope these glass containers find you unbroken, but if not, it's all Loree's fault from Clock. Yeah. Yeah, she's mean. Oh, well, thank you, Clock. Tonight is the Gail night. They call it the Gail Hangout Night, where I hang out with my fans for about 3 hours on Discord. And those who subscribe at my Patreon for $5 or more can participate. So I've been talking a lot on my daily blog videos about how Satan impersonated Brent Spiner, possessed by Jesus, trying to make love to me as Jesus through Brent Spiner, but I saw through it. But another thing that we're going to be talking about, which I think is pretty important, I don't really, we just talk about anything and everything. Like last time we wasted a lot of time talking about, I forget what his name was. Loree gives me amnesia. But I've been discussing why I've chosen my presidential candidate. And in the Discord tonight, we will be talking about how if I'm not the president, then Loree McBride's the president. She basically rigged the election so that Trump would lose. And Loree steals everything. Nothing that's like her claiming to be Brent Spiner's wife. She had to drug rape Brent to get that position. She uses extortion and theft to get everything she has. Oh, my video just finished processing. And so we will be talking about how if I'm not the president, then Loree McBride's the president, because basically Biden does whatever she says. You might say, though, some of the executive orders that he's been given out appear to be coming from my Vice President Tulsi Gabbard, who I've pretty much delegated a lot of my presidential duties to. So I've got quite an impressive cabinet. Bernie Sanders, Health and Human Services. Rand Paul, my Secretary of State. Donald Trump is my press secretary, but it looks like I'm going to have to make up for the slack because Loree's already messed that up because he's been canceled everywhere online. Along with Kanye West, I have Ron Paul as Secretary of the Treasury. And she gives me amnesia about these names. Go ahead and check the link underneath this video. So we'll be Some cabinet members are my Patreon supporters. John Balcour is Assistant Secretary of State working under Bernie Sanders. Then I have Joshua J. Joshua, another Patreon supporter, who is Marriage Laws Administrator. I created that position to deal with a lot of the unfair censorship that has been happening. So we will be discussing my presidential policies or whatever you want to talk about. It doesn't have to be limited to that. But I am pretty convinced that if I was not the president, our country would probably be in a civil war right now, and Loree McBride would be the president, basically using Biden as her cuck. Yeah, she stole the election from Trump and was planning on using Biden as her cuck. When I saw what was happening, then I said, we're going to need to make sure that I'm the president for real. And so we'll be discussing all that. And I've got quite an impressive cabinet. I've got Stephanie Kelton as the chief of the Council of my Economic Advisors. And she believes in modern monetary theory, which is something, but then I'm kind of a blend between socialist and capitalist in my economic policies. I'm not really Republican, I'm not really Democrat, I'm actually Constitution, Libertarian, and Green mostly. So that's where I stand on the political spectrum. And I'm trying to run the country with my own unique, I guess you might call it weird centrist brand. So we'll be talking about my cabinet, what I plan on doing. I basically do a lot of delegating. Let me see who else I might have left off. Bill Nye is my EPA administrator, Environmental Protection Administrator. I'm sure I'm going straight from memory, and memory is not my strong suit, especially with Loree's brain control, but I do have a link underneath this page. My policies are a blend between Democrat, Republican, Green, Libertarian, kind of a centrist mix. I'm better than Trump, and I'm better than Biden. Like I said, if I'm not president, then Loree McBride's president, and that would be a disaster, and we may be talking about that tonight. Hopefully we'll have better, more intelligent discussions during my 3-hour time than we did last week, where I don't know how we got off on, what's his name, Chris Chan or Christine Chan. I was telling my Patreon supporters, let's not talk about this guy. This is boring, And then finally at the end they said, hey, Vladimir Putin just fired his whole cabinet. I have a theory behind that. I think the reason he did that is, that reminds me, I've got Sergei Shoigu along with Rule 13 and Adolf Hitler. Yes, we have a resurrected Adolf Hitler. Rule 13 and a resurrected Adolf Hitler are joint Secretary of Defense. You said a resurrected Adolf Hitler? Well, yeah, if you watched my video about how Satan showed up in the courtroom, you'll know all about that. So we'll be discussing all sorts of things. The stuff you've been hearing about Adolf is a bunch. History is always rewritten according to the victor. He's not as bad as you think. He did go to hell. He got resurrected, but it's not for the reasons you would think. He went to hell because he masturbated too much. That's what Jesus said. And not because he didn't even know about the Holocaust when he was German Chancellor. He's now that he's been resurrected from hell, he's really glad that I made him Secretary of Defense along with Rule 13, because it gives him a chance to redeem himself. And then Assistant Secretary of Defense is Sergei Shoigu, who was the Russian Secretary of Defense. I think the reason Vladimir sacked his cabinet is because I've got several Russians in my cabinet, and I don't believe in any of this Russiagate nonsense. Vladimir Putin has been number 2 on my marriage list for a long time. Russia's one of my strongest allies, and I'm not going to play Loree McBride's Russiagate game. So anyways, like I said, we will be talking about how if I'm not president, then that means Loree McBride's president, and that would be a total disaster. So tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time to 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, you can join my Patreon for $5 or more and get in on our Discord discussion, or that would be 4 to 7 Pacific Standard Time. That's United States time. So I hope to see you there. I do presidential briefings every day on my daily blog videos. I go out and walk, and I tell my Patreon supporters what I think about the latest news about like Biden's policies. He's actually not his own person. and he's supposed to listen to me. And it appears that he is pretty much. His inauguration speech was okay. I liked a lot of it, but him going off on a rant about white supremacy, I felt was a little inappropriate. Um, um, I think he was reading off a prompter, something Tulsi Gabbard wrote for him, and he might have went off a little because Loree McBride might have interfered and said, "You need to put something in there about white supremacy." So he didn't quite follow Tulsi Gabbard. So we experience a lot of Loree interference. She's really trying to sabotage my presidency and make sure that Biden does what she wants instead of what I want. So basically, the real president is me, and Tulsi Gabbard's my vice president, and I give Tulsi a lot of autonomy. And we'll be discussing that tonight from 7 to 10 Eastern Standard Time for my Patreon supporters. $5 a month. I want to thank all my Patreon supporters for all the Christmas cards and presents. And we're having lots of fun on movie night, Friday nights. And I wish you all a happy new year.